So, I have just got done watching the 12th episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch titled Rescue on Ryloth. So yeah, and now it's time to review it. So yeah, join me, Lucamus Prime, and my best friend, Oppo Ranscisis, as we review this episode together. So yeah, anyway, cue the intro. Alright guys, so as always, I'm going to let Oppo share his thoughts on today's episode. If you haven't already guys, please consider subscribing to his channel to give him some support because he really does deserve it. And yeah, I'll have it in the description below for you to go subscribe to him. So anyway, take it away Oppo.
Hello there. This is Oppo Ranscisis. And why am I stretching time out like this? Well, because I think this will be a fairly short review today. I don't think this will be too long, actually. I think that today's review might be the shortest one. No, actually, I think that might actually be the one with the inhibitor chips being taken out. But, you know, who knows? Because today's episode it had a lot that happened in it. But most of it, I knew what's gonna happen. I predicted it because it was the obvious logical conclusion. The Bad Batch was gonna rescue Cham Syndulla, Hera Syndulla, and the entire family. And there wasn't really much beyond that. Well, there was the stupid clone rebellion, but I think Lucamus will be covering that. Which made no sense at all, and they did not explain it. They just wanted to say, you see, even with the inhibitor chips, the clone can be good. They can have a sense of soul. I don't think so. I disagree. But Lucamus will cover the whole Hauser plotline, I think. And so I will instead focus on most of the good stuff. I love Admiral Rampart, and his voice acting in this episode I liked more than in all of the previous episodes, because previously he was always so, he had this kind of thing to him for some reason, like this kind of thing. Kind of maybe General Hux or something like that, and I didn't really like it. Here he was a little more focused, a little deeper, and his voice was a little more pleasant to listen to. So I enjoyed that quite a lot. And Rampart as a character is getting increasingly more interesting by the second, actually. Apparently Orn Free is alive. I didn't know he was alive. I must have missed that scene, but Lucamus said so. So I guess that means that the Imperial rule is back on track. For those wondering what I'm talking about, you can ask me in the comments, or you could watch the previous review we did with Lucamus, because I covered that. So is that it? Is that all I wanted to say? No, it's not all I wanted to say. What else did I want to say? Well, the following thing. I really liked, once again, Gobby Glee, Cham Syndulla, but I also liked how Cham Syndulla didn't trust Hauser, because I thought they were going to have him tell it, but Cham is smarter than that, and I appreciated that. I also really liked the dynamic between the Bad Batch, and it surprises me, because I don't usually say this in TV shows or films, but the way that Omega tries to convince the Bad Batch to, for instance, help Hera and so on when they don't want to and feel it's too risky is very realistic, and she makes some good points, some decent arguments that comes across as smart and understanding instead of acting entirely on her emotions. The Bad Batch I really enjoyed in this episode. Once again, Wrecker everyone. I actually really loved the scene where the refinery is destroyed. In fact, I don't know why. I usually don't get so excited at these scenes, but this one, it's the music, the sounds, it just got me really excited, And is that it? Well, I think that's pretty much it, actually, for this episode. This might be the shortest review ever, but that is all I really wanted to cover, actually, mostly. But if Orn Free is alive, I would be very happy about that. So is that it? Yes, this is it, I think. Thank you for checking it out. I'll leave the rest to Lucamus, and I will say goodbye there. This was Oppo Ranscisis.
Alright guys, so now it's up to me to review this. So, now, this episode was, it was pretty good, yeah. And now it's time to talk about it. So yeah, now as suggested by the title of the episode, it is called Rescue on Ryloth, and yeah. So yeah, this episode depicts the Bad Batch being hired by Hera Syndulla to rescue her parents and her uncle, known as Gobi Glee, yeah, the blue one, yeah, to be specific, and yeah. So what she does is, after she escapes from the Empire who have kidnapped her parents and imprisoned them, she contacts the Bad Batch for their help to rescue them, and using Chopper to help as well, yeah. Now, at first, Hunter doesn't want to do this, because, he'd rather, focus on, the missions given to him by Sid. But Omega, because she bonded with Hera in the previous episode, convinces him to help. So, he reluctantly, agrees to rescue Hera's parents and Gobi. So, Hera, Omega, Tech, and Wrecker then attack the Imperial refinery as a distraction, while Echo and Hunter free Hera's parents and also the other, freedom fighters that were imprisoned. So yeah, now, at the end of the episode, guys, you may remember that Orm 3 Tower was shot down by Crosshair to frame the freedom fighters. But it's revealed in this episode, guys, according to Rampart's speech he gives to the people on Ryloth, that Orm 3 Tower is alive and he's on the road to recovery. So yeah, he's luckily not dead, which is a good thing. Because I think it was pretty bad how they brought him back in one episode and appeared to have killed him off. So luckily he's alive. So yeah, now we get some pretty cool scenes, lots of good fights. We even got to see Chopper in action as well, hiding among some astronaut droids and taking down some clones by shocking them with his shocker, which was pretty cool. Now there is one thing in this episode which I really did not like, guys, which is, once again, I did not like Captain Hauser. The clone with that strange haircut, where it's short on the sides and starred on the top. I did not like him at all because, I really don't like how, despite the fact that he's succumbed to Order 66, his order, he's still got, a personality and he isn't being obedient to orders. Like, I really don't get why, he hasn't changed like the other clones have, and why he's hesitating to follow his orders, because it's like Crosshair said, good soldiers follow orders. Well, he's clearly not a good soldier because he's hesitating his orders. So yeah, and they haven't even explained why he's being like this, why he isn't being obedient to his orders. I mean, because I do know that clones do change when they succumb to Order 66. We've seen it with, for example, Commander Cody in Revenge of the Sith, and also the other clones who take down the Jedi in that scene, and Wrecker in the episode with Rex as well. In Battle Scars. Like, he succumbed to it, and he changed drastically. He was nothing like his former self. So I don't know why Hauser hasn't changed. And one thing that I also did not like was, they don't even explain why he has betrayed the Empire and why he thinks what they're doing is wrong. He's not supposed to think that. He's under Order 66. He's not supposed, to be against the Empire. He's supposed to be following his orders. So yeah, I really did not like Hauser at all. In my opinion, guys, he's probably the worst clone ever. I do not like him at all. Like, he's supposed to be following his orders and he's not doing it. And I don't like how he ordered the clones to, drop their weapons. And I don't get, why they followed his order at all, really. They should have said, no, we're following orders. But nope, sadly not. They load their weapons because he allows them to escape, Hauser. He lets them escape when they're about to walk into a trap led by Crosshair. I mean, one thing I was happy about was I liked how Crosshair played a big role in this episode. But yeah, Hauser's role in this just overshadowed Crosshair, really. In my opinion, Hauser ruined the episode. I was disappointed in Hauser, and basically Hauser goes out, to confront like clones which are ambushed, hoping to, trap the freedom fighters escaping with a Bad Batch, but he tells them to load the weapons because what they're doing is wrong, and I'm like, that really threw me off because he's not supposed to be against, the Empire's orders. He's supposed to be following them under Order 66. So yeah, it's just absolutely stupid. And he attempts to start an uprising with the clones. But luckily Crosshair and his elites arrest him and the clones who, have dropped the weapons. So yeah. And then after this, after After this, we get to see a farewell between, you know, the Syndulas and the Bad Batch. They say their goodbyes and they leave. And then after this, we then get a scene with Crosshair meeting Rampart, you know, the Imperial officer who gave that speech earlier, and who we've been seeing recurringly. He then asks Rampart if he can have a manhunt against the Bad Batch. And Rampart gives him permission to start a personal manhunt against Bad Batch. I mean, Rampart as well showed a bit of you know, he seemed a bit disappointed that the Bad Batch weren't on their side because of how good they were in the fight against the clones and freeing the Syndulas. So yeah. But yeah, all in all though, guys, and that's how the episode ends. Because after that he gets permission, then that's it, the episode ends. But yeah, all in all though, guys, if you were to exclude Hauser from this story, you know, it's a good episode. But with his presence, it just ruined it for me, really, because he wasn't following Order 66. It was just ridiculous. He wasn't following the Empire. You know, in my opinion, he's the worst clone ever. I really don't like him. And the haircuts thing also annoys me because, I mean, one thing I don't like about the Clone Wars and this show is that the clones have different hairstyles, nothing like Jango Fett's, which is stupid because they're clones, for God's sake. So yeah, I mean, you saw them in Attack of the Clones in the Camino factory, looking exactly the same, yet in the show, somehow they have different styles. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, you know, that's why Cody's my favourite clone of all time, guys, because at least he behaved like how a clone should do. So yeah, and he looked like the right clone as well. But anyway, guys, so this was me talking about episode 12 of the Bad Batch, and yeah, and despite, you know, being annoyed by Hauser in this episode, I am excited for the next episode, which is called Infested, episode 13. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be great. Can't wait for it. And yeah, so guys, this was me reviewing Rescue on Ryloth, the 12th episode of a Bad Batch with Oppo Ranscisis, and yeah, this was great. So fun to do. So yeah. So you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave more comments what you guys thought of today's episode of the Bad Batch if you've seen it. Also, I'd like to say at the start, please be sure to subscribe to Oppo. The channel link will be in the description below, so go check him out. Also, be sure to join the team by pressing subscribe. More videos coming in the future, and may the Force be with you always.